So, Chaemiko versus Moon. In the previous game between Chaemiko and Lowlight, I said like I gave 20% chance of Chaemiko to win, and Chaemiko won. In this game, I'm gonna give 5% chance to Chaemiko to win and 95% chance to Moon. Or let's make 10% for Chaemiko and 90% for Moon. So I would be very surprised if Chaemiko manages to win this game. Okay. Because Moon's Dryad's play has been very strong recently, so, and Chaemiko on the other hand, his performances versus humans weren't that much impressive, so Moon is the big favorite for sure in this game, and I would be very surprised to see the human win. Wisp scouting for Moon. Keeper of the Grove, always Keeper of the Grove, never changes hero, like this guy. We sometimes see Lowlight switching it up with the Warden, but Moon, it's always Keeper. Keeper, sometimes Beastmasters on Leather. But in official games, in qualifiers and stuff, recently has been always playing Keeper. Like most of the other elves. But Moon even more. He gets the item and immediately moves towards the base of the human. Let's see if he's going to go for the classic Trains Harass here. There's no tower, so he can do something. He's gonna try to snipe the Water Elemental. He moves on with the Treants here to get the level 2 and creep the Null Brute. He's got plenty of mana, so Chaemiko is not going for the expansion. He keeps going for this kind of tier 1 aggression, level 1 aggression, which is something very different than what Romantic is doing. Romantic always gets level 2 and then goes to harass. But Chaemiko stays level 1 and harasses. Of course on Eco Isles you can do it because you got the opportunity to creep with only militia. So I still got his level 2. But didn't get a single archer, I believe, and because Moon is doing a good job shadow melting them. It's night, it's gonna get 1. Footman is gonna save the other archer, and yeah. Chaemiko is not accomplishing too much. If you could get at least a couple wisps, nice detonate by Moon, but nice deny by Chaemiko as well. So Moon won't get the experience and want to run away with experience, but I don't know about this kind of tier 1 harasses by these humans really, because these night elves, they're whole high level and they don't lose their archers. They just don't lose their archers, so I don't know why these humans just keep doing this kind of level 1 or level 2 water elemental, level 1 or level 2 archmage push. I mean, maybe it's going to work on Leather against lower level opponents, but against the top night elves it just doesn't work, because they just don't lose their archers. So you don't get level 3, you waste a lot of time, you don't get wisps, you don't get archers, you lose footmen for what? I don't think it's worth it at all. You waste a lot of time, you don't get wisps, you don't get archers, you lose footmen for what? I don't think it's worth it at all. The Keeper of Moon is catching a lot of hits though. Now now I'm curious to see if Chaemiko plays this tier 3 knights style. I think Chaemiko is not really this kind of player. I think he likes his rifles. At least that's what I saw him playing on stream. He plays a lot of rifles with inner fire and like 3-0 upgrades or stuff like that. Maybe not, I don't remember the upgrades, but I remember lots of rifles with inner fire. I didn't see a single knight in one of his games on Amazonia, so let's see if he changed this style. You can already see he's playing different than Romantic. Is not going for the Mountain King second, he's going for the Alchemist, which is the more standard hero nowadays. Romantic really liking his Mountain King second. Personally, I play Alchemist because I like the healing. And but the biggest advantage really of the Alchemist is that I can buy him faster from the tavern, so it gives me presence on the map when I just want to get one of those valuable contested camps. So if I have to wait for the Mountain King, very often I lose my timing. But the fact that I can just purchase the Alchemist at the tavern is better for my timing usually. Nice surround by Chaemiko, but there's a staff by Moon. And that was a very good move, but unfortunately Night Elves always have their staffs, and level 3 for Moon with another footman kill. Archmage still level 2. Let's take a look at the upgrades. 0-0 for the rifles. And Moon, what is he playing? Where's the expo? He's not expanding. Okay, Moon is not expanding. That's interesting. Like anytime I see this guy playing, there's an expansion. And literally almost anytime this guy is playing, there's an expansion. I'm kind of surprised there's no expansion here. He's playing one base, really? Seems like it. Sentry words for Chaemiko. He's gonna get his level 3 here. Maybe not even, because he's sharing the experience with the Alchemist. I'm not sure about that. I think he should just pull back the Alchemist and get the level 3 Archmage, since the Alchemist wasn't going to get level 2 anyways. So I think it's better to have the Elementals. But against Mass Dryads, they would still be get dispelled, so I don't know. Maybe he wants the healing spray. I think it's kinda debatable, but I would still get the Archmage level 3 and maybe get the Aura level 2. If I think that the Water Elementals would be useless against Mass Dryads. Oh, and now he's expanding, of course. So basically it's Mass Dryads, Mass Archers, Mass Dryads into expansion. So a late expansion, a very late expansion, backed off by Mass Dryads. And because his Dryad micro is pretty good, he's confident that he can hold with Dryads only versus Rifle, which should never be the case, but look at the split. He's flanking with Dryads from 2 different sides, and that's what it makes his Dryad play very strong. It never attacks with it never does attack move with the Dryad. He just splits them on 2 different sides and dances around with them. So he spreads the damage, he doesn't lose the Dryads, and he snipes the units. And that's why he can't play this kind of Mass Dryads bullshit, just because of this move. Because in a straight direct fight, there's no way that the Dryads can beat the Rifles. But of course, if you flank with them and if you outmass the human, because now he's got a lot of those Dryads, then it can work. Look, those Dryads never stand still. They just keep moving and moving and moving and moving and moving and moving. and moving, and there's an ancient war, boom. And you have to TP once again. That's so hard to beat. How do you beat this? I mean, he's got good damage with the archers. He's got the Ancient War to tank. And then he's got this constant Dryad movement. He splits them. So I lost like 1 or 2, but it doesn't matter. It's time the device for the expansion, which is now up. And the human needs mortars. You cannot beat those dryads with rifles. He needs mortars, and he's got 2-0. That's the thing that I like about what Chaemiko is doing here. He's giving value to the upgrades. He's getting those 2-0 rifles. He's not going tier 3, but he does have good damage. And if he adds like 2 more mortars, I feel like he's gonna have a lot of damage, not only versus dryads, but also versus the Tree of Life here. And since Moon is not going tier 3, but is staying tier 2, if he cancels the Expo somehow with some sneaky move, then he's gonna be in a decent position. The problem is that Moon is running away with experience. Almost level 4. Yeah, I think all... Oh, double pennon of energy. Double pennon of energy. Endless mana for Moon here. The Alchemist of Moon is higher level than the Alchemist for the human. So... And the Keeper is also a little bit higher level than the... Closer to level 4 than the Archmage. And then of course we have Mars, Mercs. This Ogre Mauler is gonna be huge. It's gonna tank a lot of damage from those rifles. And the Dryads can hit everything from behind. So he won the fight before. This time it should be even easier on paper, but we have mortars. So... Ogre Mauler has to do work here. Nice Death by Moon saving him. Nice Dispel by Chaemiko. Getting rid of the Treants. The Ancient of War is protecting. Nice! I like this mortar over there. Flanking from behind, but Moon is aware of it. And it's gonna entangle him, but the Ancient of War falls. It looks not so bad for Chaemiko. The mortars are doing the work. Moon cannot really micro his Dryads versus the damage of these mortars, and the rifles are all standing, and I think Chaemiko's got this. But he needs to keep his heroes alive. He needs to keep his heroes alive. He needs to keep his heroes alive. This is kind of all in for Chaemiko. He called the militia. He doesn't have an expansion. Level 4 for the Archmage. And I think Chaemiko won it. This Dryad play by Moon, it was working in the first fight, but the mortars are strong. Nice fight by Chaemiko. Moon still holding. Level 4 for the Alchemist. Level 3 still for Chaemiko. The Archmage is under pressure. There's nothing. If the Archmage falls, it's game. And looks like Moon might still be able to do that. Chaemiko desperately trying to build the shop. He needs the shop. He needs to save this Alchemist, but it's gonna fall. Alchemist falls. Still 43 supply though for Chaemiko. As long as he's got those two mortars behind, he still has a chance. But no, he thinks otherwise. Taps out. Moon wins. And the Alchemist falling was like... But it was a close game. At some point I thought Chaemiko would win, so he played well. He played